The Los Angeles Rams are favored against the Carolina Panthers. They're favored by 10.5 points. And Jay, will the Rams be up for this revenge game, or will they be trying to take it easy because it's the Carolina Panthers after all?
Well, they better be up for the last time that they played Panthers, they lost. So you think that would make them up and ready for this playoff game? I think the Rams are going to go deep into the playoffs. So I mean, they better be ready.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think with how Sean McVay came out in week 17 and said, we've not been good enough. We're going to play everybody week 18, because that's not what Sean McVay's done. In the preseasons, he doesn't play his guys. He rests his guys. In week 18, he rests his guys. He believes in rest, which I also agree with. But when your team isn't playing well, you can't believe in rest because you need those guys to go out and play well. And that's what Sean McVay said. And then they showed it in week 18. They were great. I think they'll take this game super seriously. I think, obviously, because they got beat by the Panthers, they're going to take it even more seriously than they would have done when they were beat by the Panthers. I think it's a shame that the Bucs aren't in this game. I think the Bucs are a better matchup here. And that's largely down to guys like Bryce Young. Jay, I actually think the Panthers have a good mismatch on the outside. The Rams' cornerback's position is skillful but small. And the Panthers' wide receiver position is big. Terrell McMillan, for example, is a big wide receiver and he's been great all season. Jay, with Bryce Young at quarterback, can the Carolina Panthers make the most of that mismatch on the outside?
I don't think so, because Bryce Young doesn't light it up. Even when they win, he throws for like 160 yards, right? Like, it's almost like at this point, Canales is figuring out how to win in spite of his quarterback.
Yeah, I think with Bryce Young has some games, including the game against the Rams, where he's thrown for well over 300 yards. But the interesting stat...
My broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, well, the interesting stat after that is yards after the catch, right? Like, his arm throwing the ball is not making those yards. He's just
17 over 20 yards all season. 17 passes over 20 yards in the air all season.
Exactly. And he hits those short yardage, which for a quarterback, Jay, that's a good skill. Like, to be able to read the defense, get the ball to the right guy to make the yak. That's not slagging off Bryce Young by saying he does that. It's just he doesn't have a live enough arm, a powerful enough arm to make the most on the outside. And as long as the Rams defense is ready to make those tackles, to follow those guys, I think they've got the Panthers slowed down seriously here. I don't think Bryce Young can make the most of that matchup.
No, I agree with you. I think Bryce Young is a backup quarterback who got drafted number 1 overall. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think he's in that same realm that I was talking about too at the start of the show, where it's like, I think if he's your starting quarterback, you don't necessarily hate it. You don't necessarily hate that he's your starting quarterback, but you're looking to move on. He's in that like 20 to 32 range. And once you're below 20, you're always looking to move on, right? You're looking for the next great guy.
I would hate it if Bryce Young was my quarterback.
He's worse than Tua. I do think he's worse than Tua.
Besides the Jets, I can't, and I'm sure there's another one, but I can't think of a single starter I'd start Bryce Young over.
Yeah, I think we did. We did this in the last show, and I came up with a couple and then just went, nah, you're right. You're 100% right.
Bryce Young has not lived up to anything that anybody thought he was going to be. And it's not even that they whiffed on the first overall pick. It's they whiffed on trading up for the first overall pick.
Yeah, because you get rid of DJ Moore. And also with that, the Bears would have taken Bryce Young if they were up there as well. Unless the Bears just decided he wasn't for them and they were always going to trade back, which it did actually sound like they were doing. Jay, with how we've been describing this game, and they're a 10.5 point underdog, How does the Panthers playing with house money help them in this game? Because if the Panthers lose in this game, their fans aren't going to be upset. They're going to be gassed that they won the NFC South. So when you're playing with house money, how does that help you in the playoffs?
I don't think it ever really happens just because the players and the coaches, everything's on the line for them, right? They want to win more than anything. So I don't think they ever think house money. But it could make them come in a little more relaxed. But I just think there's too many vets on the Rams to get too hyped up and let the week of the wild card playoffs overwhelm them. And for a lot of the Panthers, the playoffs are a lot faster. This is going to be so new to them.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think the Rams, it came up to the fact that they needed to win the game and get out of the game early in their last game, and that's exactly what they did. And I think they'll pick the same with this one. They'll be trying to turn this game into a bye as much as possible and be done by the fourth quarter. And I think the Panthers will stick around. I think they've got a good run game. But Jay, 10.5 points. Give me the Rams in this one. Jay, who have you got?
I'm taking the Rams also, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't love the spread, but give me the Rams in that one.